Hi all, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing good. So in today's video, we are going to see about updated travel guidelines for traveling to India. So this video is all about what are the latest guidelines and travel restrictions for traveling to India. So let's get started. So I have divided this video into various sections. You can refer to the sections in the time frames given below. So the first section is going to be visa. So if you are a non-Indian passport holder or if you are not an Indian citizen, you need a valid visa to travel to India. So this first section is all about visa. So India has restored most of its visa which it has restricted in the past, except e-tourist visa and regular paper-based tourist visa. So India has announced from November 15th, you can travel under e-tourist visa or regular paper-based tourist visa. But you have to apply for new tourist visa to travel after November 15th under tourist visa. So if you already have a valid tourist visa or valid e-tourist visa which is issued before October 6th, 2021, you cannot use that visa to travel to India after November 15, 2021. You need a new tourist visa. So I have already made a separate video on how to apply this new e-tourist visa or new paper-based regular tourist visa. You can refer to that video. I will provide that video in the description below. Also, this new tourist visa is only valid for 30 days and it is a single entry visa. So if you are planning for travel less than 30 days, you can go for this tourist visa. But if you already have an existing entry visa or OCA card, you are good to travel. Or if you don't have an entry visa, you can apply for new emergency entry visa. So this emergency entry visa can be applied to your respective consulates and you need an emergency reason or valid reason to apply this emergency entry visa. I have a playlist of emergency entry visa videos. I will provide those video links in the description below. Also, if you have OCA is considered as lifetime visa. You are good to travel with your OCA. You don't have to apply for any of these visas. So if you have applied for new passport updation for your OCA, then you are good to travel even if the application is under process. You don't have to wait for your acknowledgement. So I hope this visa section is clear. I'll repeat once again. You need a valid visa to travel to India. It can be an entry visa or OCA card or any other existing visa except tourist visa. If you already have a tourist visa which is issued before October 6th, 2021, it is not valid. You have to apply for new tourist visa. So if you come under Indian origin category, you can go for entry visa or OCA, who are considered as Indian origin people. So if your previous nationality is Indian, you are considered as an Indian origin person. Or if your parents, grandparents or great grandparents are Indian citizen or their previous nationality is Indian, you are considered as an Indian origin person. Or if you have married an Indian origin spouse, or if your spouse's current nationality is Indian, then you are also considered as an Indian origin person. So if you come under any of this category, you can apply for emergency entry visa or OCA. If you don't come under any of this category, then you have to go for tourist visa. So I will highly recommend you to apply for OCA if you are an Indian origin, because OCA is considered as a lifetime visa, and if you have time you can apply for OCA because OCA takes 4 to 8 weeks for processing. I have already made a bunch of videos on how to apply for OCA both for adults and kids, and what are the timelines of OCA, what are the supporting documents, and how to upload your OCA photographs. So please refer to that playlist if you have any doubts regarding OCA. So by this, our section 1 is completed, that is visa category. So next is going to be our section 2. So if you have valid visa and if you have valid passport, you can start your travel plan. So once you have booked your tickets to India, the next step is taking RT-PCR test. So regardless of citizenship, both Indian and non-Indian passport holders has to take RT-PCR test within 72 hours of their departure time. So these restrictions might vary according to your airline, but in general, according to Indian regulations, it is 72 hours. So if you are taking in Qatar Airways or Emirates, it might change according to their airline guidelines. So please refer to the airline guidelines before you take your RT-PCR test. So this RT-PCR test has to be taken for each passengers traveling, even if it is infants or children. So wherever you take your RT-PCR test, mention that you are taking this for a travel purpose and ask them when you will get the report, because your travel depends upon this report. So once you are done with the RT-PCR test, next is section 3, that is heirs by the self-declaration form. Again, this heirs by the self-declaration form has to be filled by each and every passengers, including infants and children. So once you are done with the RT-PCR test, you have to fill a self-declaration form which contains your origin airport details, your port of exit and your destination airport detail, your port of entry plus the airlines you are traveling, and you have to upload your RT-PCR test report plus your passport copy along with your vaccination information or vaccination certificate if you have any. So once you are done with this self-declaration form, you have to submit this form. You will get an email to the registered email ID with the self-declaration PDF form. So you have to download this self-declaration PDF form. So I repeat, you have to fill the self-declaration form for all the individuals traveling, including infants and children. So next is our fourth section. This is undertaking form. So this undertaking form sometimes will be issued in the airport itself. Otherwise, you can print this undertaking form in home and you can fill it before you are leaving to the airport. Again, this undertaking form has to be filled by all the individuals, including infants and children. So this undertaking form contains the details about your destination in India. So it's a kind of tracking information with all your details. So if in case they have to track you for any purpose while you are in India. So that's it. So these are the 4 steps you have to take care while you are planning your travel to India. The first is going to be visa. If you are a non-Indian passport holder, then you have to have a valid visa. The second is RT-PCR test. The third is self-declaration form. The fourth is undertaking form. So once you are done with all these 4 steps, you are good to start your travel. So once you arrive at your port of entry in India, that is your port of arrival, some of the passengers are required to take one more RT-PCR test at your arrival port. So let's see who are the passengers needs to take one more RT-PCR test at the arrival. So India has listed 2 categories of countries. One is countries at high risk, the other is country A. So the countries at high risk are COVID-19 high risk countries, and category A countries are countries which have mutual agreement with India. So if you come under countries at high risk and you are traveling from one of these countries or you are transiting through one of these countries, then you are required to take one more RT-PCR test at the port of entry or your port of arrival airport. So once you have given this RT-PCR test, you are good to leave the airport, and it is recommended to self-quarantine for 7 days. And on 8th day, you are requested to take one more RT-PCR test. So this is the restriction or recommendation for passengers traveling from or through this high-risk listed countries. So if you are traveling from or transiting through country listed under category A, and if you are vaccinated completely, then you are good to leave the airport and you are recommended to self-quarantine for 14 days. Otherwise, if you are partially vaccinated or if you are not vaccinated, then you are requested to take one more RT-PCR test at the airport, that is your arrival airport, and then leave the airport and you are recommended to quarantine for 7 days. Again, on 8th day, you are requested to take one more RT-PCR test. So all other passengers who doesn't come under high-risk countries are allowed to leave the airport without taking one more RT-PCR test, and the recommendation for self-quarantine is 14 days. So I hope this is clear. So you have to pay for this RT-PCR test which is taken at the port of arrival airport. Cost of this RT-PCR test might range from 1000 to 3000. It depends upon the airport you are arriving. Also, all the airports offer a pre-booking for this RT-PCR test. You can go to the website of your arrival airport and pre-book your RT-PCR test in order to avoid long queues or in order to avoid delays in taking this RT-PCR test. For example, if your port of entry or port of arrival is Delhi airport, you can go to Delhi airport website and book your RT-PCR test if you come under high risk country or if you're not fully vaccinated. So I hope this is clear. Also, please carry your vaccination record or vaccination certificate if you have any and if you are fully vaccinated. So this is the general guidelines for people traveling to India. So apart from this, each state have their own e-pass and own entry restrictions. So please go through the particular state website to know if you need an e-pass or if you need to quarantine or if you need to produce an RT-PCR report before entering the state. So this depends upon the state guidelines. So please go through the state website. So I hope this video is clear and it is helpful for people traveling to India. So I repeat, this video is exclusively for people traveling to India. This is with the updated guidelines. So I'll provide all the official reference link for this video in the description below. If you have any doubts, please leave in the comment section. Also refer to the reference video. So I hope this video is helpful and informative. If you find this video helpful, please like and share the video. It might help others who are in same situation. Also subscribe to the channel. This will motivate me in making more informative videos like this. So I hope you all have a safe journey. Thank you.